Things just get worse and worse for Modern Warfare 2. But a quick disclaimer before I do start with this rant again, is that I'm not going to make this channel become a Call of Duty channel, or a channel where I just hate on Call of Duty, because, I want to review a whole bunch of different games, not just Call of Duty. And to be perfectly honest with you, Call of Duty isn't a very fun topic to discuss at the moment. I feel like it's important to because it's one of the biggest games on the market, and it's failing. So if you saw my previous video, you would know that the launch of Season 3 was a failure. Simply a failure. And I discussed how the game has not progressed from the launch, Season 0, until Season 3. There hasn't been enough content, I can go on about that all day. Go watch that video if you want to hear about that. But now, it just gets worse and worse. And there's things that I didn't even cover in that video. Oh no, Call of Duty, it's just not looking good, is it? It really isn't. Firstly, let's talk about DMZ. And probably one of the most outrageous things I have ever seen from a Call of Duty game. So DMZ, you bring items in and you try and get better items, it's a constant cycle. You're trying to get better loot, you're trying to extract better loot. It's definitely something that had a lot of potential, so Season 3, maybe they'll expand on it a bit more. No, they will not. No, they will not do that. Instead, what do you think they will do? Just take a quick guess. They're going to add bundles to the store that effectively make DMZ pay to win. Pay to win. Pay to win. I mean, am I crazy? Pay to win in a Call of Duty game? Before I absolutely rip into these pay to win things they've got going on, let me just explain to you how they work. So as I said, DMZ, you go in, you extract loot. The whole point of the game mode is there's this sort of risk-reward factor. Do you take in this high-value gun and, try and get even better stuff? Or do you sort of go in with nothing and try and climb up the ranks and try and get better and better stuff? Well, what you can do now is, you can simply go to the store, you click over to the store, you click buy bundle for 1,000 COD points, or probably even more than that, and you now have an advantage, because now, all you have is you have a permanent medium backpack on your character. It might not sound like much. The issue isn't how large the advantage is, it's the fact that there's an advantage. An advantage gained through simply paying. And it's only going to get worse. I haven't checked the store recently, but from what I've seen, there's going to be more bundles with even, greater items, even better stuff. That's just going to give you an even larger advantage. And for a game, and I know the DMZ part of the game is free, but it's just inexcusable. Like, seriously, inexcusable. They are now, with a game mode that had so much potential, that it's now just becoming pay to win. I mean, it's barely been out for 6 months, and they've given up on it, it seems. I mean, absolutely crazy stuff. I mean, seriously. I'm just speechless, honestly. How have they let this game mode slip now? This one had a bit of potential, at least. But okay, maybe you're not really, interested in DMZ. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm not really interested in that part of the game either, so that new update doesn't really affect me in any way. But what does affect me, and what does annoy me even more, is the fact they are now reselling skins from Modern Warfare 2019. I'm not just talking about any skins. I'm talking about Damascus camo, and I'm talking about gold camo. And if you remember back to Modern Warfare 2019, you will know how long these took to unlock. But for anyone who did unlock these camos in that game, particularly Damascus, because that was the last camo, the mastery camo, did it carry over to Modern Warfare 2? Of course it didn't. Of course it didn't. But it's in the game. It's still in the game. Oh, it is, yeah. They brought it in the game. But you have to spend £15 to get it. £15 for a camo that I could have got by just playing the game. I mean, yes, it took a while. For all those people who played for hours and hours trying to get it. I mean, I was one weapon off, and I spent hours and days and weeks going for that, and I just about almost got it. And it took that long. But the people that actually got it, that put all in that hard work, and you're just going to sell it? It was worthless. Because it's not going to transfer over, and you're just going to sell it. I mean, it's just a massive disrespect to the players. There's been other things as well. Recently, they're selling the Ghost from 2009 to Modern Warfare. They're selling that again, I think for the 3rd time they're selling it. I mean, I can somewhat look past that. I think we have, a lot more things to worry about as a community. The thing that just worries me the most, though, is that through all this hardship this game's gone through, which is self-inflicted. You know, this game had the potential, as I've said, to be one of the best COD games ever. It had the name value, as I said. But when this game goes through hardship, instead of improving areas, you know, instead of improving DMZ, which, you know, to my knowledge, I think the reason we're getting these bundles of pay to win, because the player count is probably quite low. You know, obviously we can't really see this anymore because they've removed it. But, you know, instead of adding more content, instead of refining some areas of DMZ, it's a very raw game mode. It needs some work. It was a good base, a very good base. It had a lot of potential. But instead of improving on that, I think they've seen it as, you know, they've failed. When in reality they haven't. You know, these store bundles, I think they're a last-ditch effort to make a bit of money off DMZ, because I think they believe that DMZ isn't as profitable as the multiplayer area or the Warzone area of the game. We know how much money they can make. But I think DMZ can be that. You know, look at games like Escape from Tarkov. You know, these games on PC are really popular, and Call of Duty is equivalent of this. It fills the console. There's a void on the console market for a game like this. You know, the extraction game mode. It's becoming a lot more popular ever since Battle Royales have kind of fallen off a bit. So having this game mode aside Warzone was perfect, but it seems like it's already being ditched. Again, another game mode that's being ditched very early on. Before I end this video though, I want to talk about one final thing, and that's the release of the X-Defiant beta. I've been following the game for quite a while, and I'd heard some mixed opinions about it, but finally last week, I finally got to try it out, and I can say for sure that it should push Call of Duty to finally make changes. It seems like the team that's headed by Mark Rubin, a man who used to work at Infinity Ward back in the day, it seems like they're taking all the things that we want from a Call of Duty game and adding their own, you know, flavour to it as well. It really is a very, very promising game. I mean, even in the beta at the moment, the game has just come into beta, and it's already got 14 maps. That is a huge amount for a beta. You know, I'm so excited to see what this game can bring. I mean, gameplay-wise, it's very solid as well. Fast-paced action. Very, very smooth gunplay. There's some issues with the netcode, and, you know, servers are an issue as well, I would say. Aside from that, this game is everything we've been asking for. Lots of content, no skill-based matchmaking, and a game that just works. From what I've played, I don't think this game will be able to surpass Call of Duty, you know. Call of Duty as a franchise is too large. It's got way too much resources to like fight off any rival that will potentially even get close. But it should push them to make changes. So despite the fact that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 might be in a very, very low point right now, there is a bit of hope that I can attach myself onto. But thanks again for listening to me rant about Modern Warfare 2. You know, obviously it's something that I'm passionate about because I'm a Call of Duty fan. I want this series to be as good as it once was. And obviously it can be. This is probably the last video I'll make on Modern Warfare 2. At least for a long time, because I just don't enjoy the game anymore. And I can't really see a future for it. But if you did enjoy it, and you want to see some more gaming related content in the future, including reviews and redemption arc stories, then please be sure to subscribe. We are currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and the support recently has been absolutely immense. But thanks again, and I'll see you all in my next video.